So I think there are a few interesting questions that spring from what you've just described. At one point in time, you've actually clearly outlined the fact that Facebook as a platform has voluntarily decided to take certain steps.
Or otherwise.
But at the same point in time, I think it's also the responsibility of a platform that counts 300 million users from India to actually put in place measures that can safeguard something that is so critical for those 300 million users in India. So I don't think they're doing this they should be thinking of doing this in an altruistic manner. It makes for good economics for them, because if those constituents are kept happy and if they can ensure a free and fair election, to the extent that they have the ability to influence the electoral process, then it's their responsibility to do that. So my question, on the other hand, is also about, despite putting all these measures, is it about expectations management? Because is it realistically possible for you to actually regulate speech that comes in from a country that is as massive as India?
Yeah, good point. I think there are a couple of angles there, right? If you remember what I said, Facebook has two components. There's a media component, which is where it should be treated in par with television, radio, print, and there's a community element, right? And I think that's important to make that distinction, because I think we just end up giving too much power to the world of social media and digital, and I think there's a fundamental element here of what I personally believe, and I think there are a lot of people who would disagree with me here, is human agency. We all have a choice. As a voter or a potential voter, it's also my responsibility as a citizen to research, to kind of check facts, etc. Because I can tell you this, that what you just said, even if you can regulate, you fine, you do what you like, just Facebook is just part of the problem. It's the voters. There's a brilliant piece by Donald Graham from Washington Post, who was on the board of Facebook at some point. He was a publisher of the Washington Post, and he goes on to say, don't regulate Facebook, because inherently a platform which is monetizing users and user data, it's in their interest to safeguard that user community, because if they start losing that, which is happening in some parts of the world, that's not good for them. B, I think he's brought out a brilliant point that the process of regulation, and I think as a lawyer you can comment on this, is highly political. Today, if it's Narendra Modi, if his government is regulating, very likely the regulation will have a flavor of what he would like, as opposed to if Rahul Gandhi is in power. I think we got to bear this in mind. I come from a school of thought that, look, you can't just be saying Facebook's the problem. Let's blame Zuckerberg for everything. Yes, they can choose to be responsible corporates, and they have to abide by the law of the land. They have to do certain things altruistically or otherwise to protect the citizens and the constituents. So I think coming to that point, expectation management is critical. And I think that's where, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think we should give too much power to the likes of Facebook and WhatsApp, saying, oh, you know what, if they start facilitating the spread of fake news or hate speech, they're the sole ones to be blamed. I think, what about the citizens? What about the politicians?
The answer to that, Prantik, actually, is that citizens are governed by the Indian Penal Code.
Yeah.
And if any citizen actually commits the offense of spreading hate speech, then the state actually can bring all its policing mechanisms that is available at its disposal to actually quell such kind of hate speech.
Sure.
Of course, what constitutes hate speech is very, very subjective.
Yeah.
And obviously it has to meet the test of what is reasonable in the eyes of the judiciary.
Yeah.
And in the eyes of law.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, the reason why there is so much of an emphasis on regulating these platforms is because currently they have no responsibility under well-established frameworks of law in most countries.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why there is so much of an emphasis in drawing up the kind of regulations that the governments world over have been trying to do.
Sure.
But I think you brought in a brilliant point here that regulation need not always answer every challenge that is thrown to the electorate, and I think the answer probably lies somewhere in between. It also lies to a certain extent in users behaving in a responsible fashion, not disseminating hateful speech or fake news, and at the same point in time, intermediaries accepting their share of the responsibility and doing what they can to ensure a free and fair electoral process. To sum it up, these are not really easy questions. The debate can go on and on. I'm sure policy experts, academics have very nuanced views which can go in either way, either advancing arguments in support of Facebook and the likes, or advancing arguments in terms of increased regulation from the government. I think the question here is we need to have a healthy debate on these issues, especially in a year which is as significant as it is for Indian democracy in 2019. The regulations that the government has sought to introduce may only be one part of the jigsaw puzzle that needs to come together for the elections to be conducted in a free and fair manner. Thank you so much, Prantik. That was really an enjoyable chat.
Thank you so much, Amrut. Pleasure to be on the Game Changer Conversation show. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the second in a series of Game Changer Conversations. This time around, we're coming to you